Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now, I would like to make a presentation about science lift the flipbook in improving students' creative thinking skill. Science is a subject that is oriented to develop students' scientific attitude. By learning science, students are expected to be able to learn about themselves and the natural environment, so the result can be applied in everyday life. Uh, Many teachers in elementary schools face various problems in teaching science, including a lack of teacher confidence in their knowledge of science and their ignorance in teaching science effectively. And the students' creativity in science teaching process have less attention because the teaching and learning activities are not oriented to the development of students' creative thinking skill process, and it is dominated by the teacher, so it can change the mindset and the students' creativity. Based on the observation result at Ma'arif Bakrojo Sidoarjo, it found that the science teaching and learning atmosphere does not support uh, students' creative thinking abilities, and the ability of students to think creatively and to solve the problems are still low. It is evidenced by the number of students who answer the questions based on the textbooks or based on the explanation from the teacher. And the textbook use are also not supported by illustrated pictures that can help students to understand the material. What is creative thinking? Creative thinking is a way of generating ideas that can be applied in the world and often involves solving problems using aspects of mathematical, linguistic, and interpersonal intelligence. There are four indicators of creative thinking skills: fluency, flexibility, originality, and elaboration. Fluency means a person's ability in generating ideas, questions, and alternative answers. And flexibility means the ability in generating varied ideas and the question from several different perspectives. And originality means the ability in generating ideas in solving a problem, so it can create unique thought. And elaboration is a person's ability to develop ideas or objects so they become more interesting. The importance of creative thinking. The creative thinking skills is very important cognitive aspect, and it must be exist in science and teaching learning process. The aim of the study: the use of appropriate media or teaching materials in learning. Of course, it influences students in understanding the concept of materials conveyed by the teacher. So it is also closely related to students' creative thinking skills. So the research intends to examine the effectiveness of using science lift the flipbook in improving students' creative thinking skill. If the flipbook is a book that contains pictures and windows that can be opened to the right, left, up, or down, and lift the flipbook has several advantages when it used in teaching and learning, including pictures, materials, or explanation, so it can increase students' curiosity, attention, and interest in learning material. Uh, Lift the flip used in the study contains material on plant parts, and the questions in this book are presented in the form of quiz and puzzle, so it can increase students' curiosity and creative thinking ability. And this study used quantitative research using one pre-test and post-test design, and the sample of the study are the students of class 3 ME Ma'arif Bakarwajo Sidoarjo that consists of 26 students, and the data collection use observation on the test, and the test is used to measure students creative thinking skills based on indicators of creative thinking skills. And the result of the test, there are 15 students are in the list of creative category, and 11 students are categorized as quite creative, and this result prove that the level of students' creative thinking is still low, or because half of total number of students are in the less creative category. And the post-test result here, uh, there are three students are quite creative category, and three students are creative category, and 20 students are very creative category. And this result indicate that the number of students based on the level of creative thinking category is increased after using science reflective. And the pretest result shows an average of 38.75, and the post-test result is 86.43. And it can be concluded that there is a significant difference on the average pretest and the post-test scores. And by giving students the opportunity to interact in this book, it can improve students' creative thinking skills. And the result of this study in line with the research conducted by Handayani, that students' activities when opening the lift the flipbook, looking at the pictures and reading the materials can improve creative thinking skills and students' motoric skills. And the questions presented in this science lift the flipbook are in the form of quiz and puzzles and presented openly during learning activities, so it can stimulate students to think creatively. And this result of the study in line with Cutler's opinions that several learning activities such scaffolding and asking open questions can improve and stimulate students' creative thinking abilities. Okay, that's all my presentation. Uh, Thank you, and the last, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.